Today on Yoga with AJ, we are going to see how to free up the breath and relax the body when you have a stuffy nose or if your sinuses are acting up. Having said that, if you have a really bad cold, the best thing you can do for it is to lie down, rest, sleep, get plenty of hot fluids and just allow your body to do its work. On that note, let's get started. So I have a bolster and a yoga block to help me. You don't need to have either. You could just use a stack of pillows or cushions. And what we're going to do with this is support the head, because sometimes when your nose is stuffy, it affects the sinus cavities and you get a headache as well. So we're going to try and support the head using these props. We're going to start out with the knees apart, big toes touching, and stretch forward in Adho Mukha Virasana. And we're just going to take a few deep breaths there. It's very relaxing to be there. You can also have a pillow under your head if that feels good. Stay for 5 to 10 breaths. And we're going to go into downward facing dog next, Adho Mukha Svanasana. You can either use a yoga block or you can use the bolster. Use a stack of pillows to support your head in the pose. If you feel that your knees need to be slightly bent, you can do that. To move into the pose, you want to make sure that your hands are flat on the floor, the bases of the fingers pressing down, especially the forefinger and the thumb, and you're raising your hips up towards the ceiling, bringing the shoulders down into the back. So let's try doing just that. Press down into the shoulders, press down into the forefinger and the thumb, and now try to open the shoulders out nicely. Curl the toes under, press up with your hips. You can keep the feet either bent or you can pedal with the feet, keeping the head relaxed there, or you can straighten out the legs. If your feet don't touch the floor, you can have something else, rolled up blanket, block, anything to help support your heels there. And your legs will be hip width apart. Hold the pose for about 10 to 20 breaths and then release by moving into child's pose. You can either have the hands stretched forward or resting next to your feet. Take a few nice deep breaths to relax. And we'll slowly come up, stand up. We have the yoga block in front of us. And for some of us, the yoga block may not be of any use. I'm going to show you how you can support your head in Uttanasana, forward fold. So keep the knees slightly soft, keep them bent even more if you need to. Lower back and hamstrings relaxed, and just allow yourself to fold down so the crown of your head is facing towards the floor. If you can go deep enough into this forward bend, you'll be able to rest your head on the block and the hands on the floor. If not, stay higher up. It's alright. You can keep the knees soft. Hold on to either elbow. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, relax. Fold into the pose. Stay here again for 5 to 10 breaths. And slowly come up. Relax the arms. And we go down onto the floor one last time. We're going to use the bolster again to support. This can be a challenging pose if you're not able to sit between the feet. It's a variation of Virasana again. So you can sit on a cushion or a block. Support yourself there nicely. And if you're feeling good enough to go back there, you come back onto the bolster, or you might need to boost the height and put another pillow on top. Allow yourself to rest. So the chest is open in this, the back is stretching, shoulders relaxed. And just allow yourself to be in the pose. If the pose feels too challenging or if it feels like it's straining your lower back, do not stay in it. And slowly coming up. In this pose, the knees are closer to each other, the feet are away, so that hips are moving inwards. If this feels very difficult for you, avoid the pose. You can simply cross your legs, place the bolster behind you and rest this way. That's fine too. Allows the chest to be in an open space and the back and the stomach to stretch a little bit. And come out of it. You could stay there for 10 to 15 breaths, or if you feel very relaxed, even more. It's nice to stay in all the poses for about half a minute, but if that feels like it's straining you even more, stay for a shorter period of time. Stay for 10 to 15 breaths. The last thing we're going to do is, we're going to open up the chest, and I'll give you two options there on the floor. Either you rest, allow yourself to breathe well, feet hip width apart, hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale to come up to Bhujangasana. Again, hold 10 breaths if you can, 15 breaths if you can manage. Shorter, if you feel that it's straining you, slowly come down. So that's the easy variation. Bhujangasana, to stretch out your chest and get you breathing again. And if you're able to, we'll go to the bow pose, Dhanurasana. To do that, you hold on to the ankles. If you're not able to reach the ankles, hold on to the tops of the feet. The arms are going from the outsides, not from the inside. Shoulders are relaxed, forehead on the mat. Knees are not going away from each other. Keep them aligned with the hips. Inhale to come up. In the beginning, you may be able to come up only with the upper body and slightly with the legs. And as you progress in this pose, you'll be able to lift from the chest, lengthen the spine, make sure you're not compressing the lower back, and lift the legs up as well as the upper body. Stay for 10 breaths if you can, otherwise try twice. 5 breaths, rest, 5 breaths, rest. Slowly release down to the floor. Allow yourself to breathe well, and then press back into child's pose to release your lower back. Slowly sit up, and we're going to work on the pressure points, and then in a nice constructive rest position, Viparita Karni, with your legs up against the wall. Sometimes if you want to get your breath flowing, your nose is blocked, or you feel a little heaviness in your head, it's wonderful to practice the sun salutation as well, because it heats you up from within and allows the breath to flow freely. So maybe you do 3 to 5 rounds of sun salutation, and that could help you too, if you're feeling stuffy in the nose or you're suffering from cold or sinusitis. So the pressure points are all around the sinus points in your face that we're going to tap today. We can start by just focusing on the breath and seeing how the sensation of the breath feels in the nostrils and in the chest. So take 2 or 3 deep breaths through the nose. See if your nose is blocked, or if the breath is flowing freely, or maybe it's catching somewhere. So we start with our first pressure point. It's like pinching, so you take the thumb and the forefinger, place it on the bridge of the nose, just where the nose is close to the eyes, where the bone is. Take a nice deep breath in, exhale, and gently apply pressure there. So you want to keep that pressure point on for about 10 seconds. So you count slowly to 10 in your mind, 10 to 15 seconds, and release. You might feel a heaviness there, and sometimes even while practicing the inversions or forward folds, you may feel a heaviness in your head, and you may feel, oh, this is not making me feel good, but once you're done, you will feel a lot better. Second pressure point, you use your thumbs, just the soft part of your thumb, and you're going to place it where the top of your eyebrow is just below that. You'll feel some small nerve point kind of thing inside there, and you press the thumbs against that. You'll feel a soft tissue there. Don't press too hard, just apply pressure gently. Hold for 10 to 15 seconds. Make sure you breathe well and concentrate at that point as you're doing it, and then release. That's close to one of your sinus cavities. Third pressure point, use the first 2 fingers. Press above your eyebrows and then smooth out to the sides. Make a few small circles at your temples and relax. You can do this 3 or 4 times. It's very relaxing to the sinus points at the top and even the muscles at the sides near your temples, because those also can start to throb when you're feeling unwell. Last pressure point may feel a little uncomfortable. Again, you're going to use the first 2 fingers and you're going to place the middle finger fairly close to your nose and the pointer finger just below. There are two pressure points here, very close to your nose, and there is another sinus cavity there. So you apply even pressure. Make sure if you have nails, you're not poking yourself. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and apply pressure. Keep it held for 10 to 15 seconds if you can, and you will flow better with your breath as you keep practicing this. You can repeat the pressure points one more time or two more times if you feel like it. And the last thing we're going to do is Viparita Karani, which means literally upside down. Your head and your chest are going to be below the feet. That will allow all the blood to flow down towards your head and your chest and give you a nice restful space to be in. So find a nice wall where you can set down a mat. Scoot over to it. Make sure your hip is flush against the wall. And you're going to lie down and gently swing the legs up, making sure both the hips are flush against the wall. You can just stay there if you like, or if you want to add more relaxation, and if it feels good to you, slide a bolster or a pillow underneath your hips and just settle down. Allow yourself to be there for 3 to 5 minutes, breathing really nicely. You will feel your legs starting to relax and your back starting to relax. And this is really very therapeutic, very good to rest. Everything that we've done today should help you if your symptoms are mild, but if you have a persistent cold over a period of days or weeks or a full-blown sinusitis attack, make sure you visit the doctor. Stay healthy, stay connected to yourself, and I'll see you in the next episode.